Okay, let's see who we're doing next for the August readings here. Pisces, we've done. Libra. You know, it's funny because, I was wondering, this deck that I'm using, we have to use the guidebook for it, for the tarot portion, because every single card has a song associated with it. So, and I'm not going to memorize that, so we'll see. I don't necessarily know if they're all like, maybe they're not all country songs, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I don't think they are because I just saw Louis Armstrong. Anyway, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is your August read. We're doing a special reading this time around for, I thought I'd start doing themed readings instead of always doing like the same spread. We'll start with your magnetic poetry. Then we're going to do spotlights and blind spots. So it just because, the sun is a major theme for Leo season. Get a pen and a piece of paper so that we can kind of see what your magnetic poetry is, and then we'll get started. And again, like I said, check the description box for everything you need to know, including you got 2 yeses. Who was it that got that same thing? I can't remember. But there was there's a place where you can look up your natal chart, and it's quite comprehensive. Yes. And somebody a present that has a diamond in it. Sorry. It's supposed to be a surprise, maybe? Or maybe my throat's just dry because it always is when I have lemon water. Anyway. 2 yeses and a diamond present. Together, love, happy. A reveal. Interesting. I don't know. But those are your things. So this is the deck we're going to use. I've already pre-shuffled, but we'll go ahead and we'll do some additional shuffling. It's the little thing you do is Magic Tarot. I haven't used this deck for any readings yet. So I thought it'd be apropos to go ahead and, or apropos to, Anyway, I thought I would do a reading with this deck. But then I was like, oh, it has songs for each card. So I've got the book here so that we can look them up. We will be clarifying using the Sun Moon Tarot for the spotlights and the Deviant Moon Tarot for the blind spots, followed by the Rebel deck for an oracle message, and then the I Am Power Pack for an affirmation you can take with you into September. So let's get started for you here. I only take clippers and jumpers, a maximum of 3. You may notice the camera view that I'm using. Let me make sure that we're recording so that I'm not wasting my time and yours. More like my time. Twist for fairness for you. Every little thing she does is magic. Okay, so spotlights for you, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also, the court cards here in the Minor Arcana, the Apprentice is the Page, the Champion is the Knight, Oracle is the Queen, and Elder is the King. So just so you're aware, spotlights for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for August. Oh, that's a little bit of card vomit, but these 2 stuck, so we will take them. We have, and I feel like this one's sitting here instead of up here, the King of Cups, Scorpio energy. Somebody who is the master of protecting their waters, their heart space, their emotional energy, who they dedicate it to, and who they choose to protect themselves from providing that energy to. This is an energy that you're embodying at this time. With the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse, there's a feeling as if you have a wealth of inclusivity happening at this time. Like, you don't feel excluded from stuff. You feel very empowered with this Five of Pentacles in the reverse. You're feeling like a wholeness, a sense of community. You see this is a vase that is unbroken in the reverse as opposed to a broken vase. Although I don't subscribe to the idea that human beings are broken necessarily at all. We're not machines. A human being cannot be broken. We can have trouble. We can be troubled. We can, but anyway, that's another day. Let's look at the songs that are for these before I get into more interpretive work with them, just because I want to make sure that I get that for you. Girl from Sedna, Lou Val and Vaughn on the Elder of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. Almost there. You can't always get what you want. And they're saying Rusted Root for that one, but we know that that's a Rolling Stones song, of course. Anyway, I think they're trying to get you to listen to certain versions of a song, if you will. But that's the feeling that we have here, is that you've protected your energy from your emotional energy, and you've allowed the right connections in emotionally and been very discerning when it comes to those, and it's put you in the space of feeling empowered and not necessarily left out any longer, whereas you may have in the past. You've got the right goods when it comes to that. Oh, you're doing twos on me today, are you? Oh, we've got three, so we'll have the two up here. Let's see. The Devil in the reverse and the Magician in the reverse. You have somebody in your midst right now. Capricorn energy. We also have Virgo and Gemini energy in the reverse. Somebody who is... It's as if you have somebody here who's indulging to excess, but they're also engaging in trickery. Smoke and mirrors. They think they're fooling everybody, or they're fooling everybody actively about this indulgence. It's like there's like a scenario here where everybody thinks one thing, but another thing is going on, and it has to do with indulgence, excesses, extremes. There is also obsession and fear to the extreme happening here. This person could be feigning that they're not afraid, feigning that they're not obsessed with something, when in fact they are. They could also be feigning that they're indulging in something when they're not, or transversely the opposite of that. The Magician in the reverse is, of course, the liar, the trickster, the Loki of the tarot, of course. But yeah, let's see the songs for the two of those. Let's go back to the Magician, because that's in the beginning. It's going to be really annoying stopping for these, but I'm just going to have to do it because I want to make sure you get them. Magician, Power by Little Mix. Oh, okay, so I guess there are like other songs. I think that's a rap guy or something. And then the Devil. I don't listen to newer rap music. The Devil. The Devil. I think I went past it. I know I went past it. Did I miss it? I did miss it. Sorry. Anyway, I should be talking while I'm doing this. I'm not wasting everybody's time. Muddy Waters by LP. Okay. Anyway, yeah. There's a lot of imagery going on here. A lot of false faces. A mask being worn. There's a mask being worn. 7, because there's 6, 7. 6, 7, so the Capricorn symbol, but that is the Capricorn card. I don't know. Timing wise, we could be looking at a discovery of this mask, or the mask falling off around Cancer season, Sagittarius season, or Pisces season. With that, we have the King of Swords in the reverse. There's criminality attached to this. There's some illegal activity here. That's what's being highlighted. You've protected yourself by being very discerning about who you stay connected to. It's almost as if this is your club over here, and then this person's on the outs. They're not a part of the club because they're doing something wrong. Aquarius energy is a Capricorn, Aquarius cusp individual. This can also be during Leo, Cancer, Leo season. This has happened. But the King of Swords in the reverse is the opposite of the Aquarian card because, you know, the King of Swords in the upright would be the judge, the magistrate, the parole officer, the lawyer, the legally connected individual who acts out of logic and strategy as opposed to emotion. And in the reverse, it's criminal element. It's a thief. It's a crooked individual, somebody who skirts the law or has been doing something illegal. And with this connected to the Devil card, we have, they could have been a part of your circle because we have the Five of Pentacles and the reverse being somebody who is not excluded, somebody who is connected to a group, a sense of community, but also somebody who is warm, who has warmed themselves, kept themselves out of the cold, is empowered to do so. But this is a criminal element. Is linked to indulgence, obsession, fear, and a false front. Something's been shrouded in mystery, or there's been trickery involved with it. There's a lot of illusion associated with what's going on here. But you've been very discerning about who you connect yourself emotionally to. This is what's highlighted for you. We'll clarify it, of course. Elder of Swords, I guess we're going to have to look that one up too. This is such a pain in the ass. I should have just maybe wrote these out on a piece of paper, but, you know, write out 78 cards, right? That would be a massive pain in the ass. But the Elder of Swords, a song for the Elder of Swords, is Catalog of Unabashed Gratitude by Ross Gay with Bon Iver. Anyway, okay. Well, I was going to say your blind spots, but one flew out right away. On your blind spot side, we have the Wheel of Fortune. I keep on turning to that song, so I might as well just do it right now. Wheel of Fortune, we have a turn of events. An unexpected turn of events or a turn of the wheel that moves in your favor is more than likely what we're dealing with there. I just want to grab the song really quick for it. But it's something that's going to happen for you that's going to be fortunate. Could also just be the forward motion of progress. Extraordinary Machine by Fiona Apple is the song for that one. This is really annoying, the song thing. I probably will never do that again when I read these cards. But there's some chance encounter. I'm seeing that by the hand that reaches out to grab the other hand. So there's a chance encounter, some wheel of forward motion and connection, doors opening for an individual. I'm seeing also in this here for you. So that forward motion, that chance encounter is going to have to do with doors opening for an individual and progress and forward momentum for you. That's something that you don't necessarily know or see. It's unexpected. But it's going to happen at some point. It's in your blind spot. It's something you don't understand or see. Could also be that, you know, there was a chance encounter with somebody was reaching out to you. Reaching out for a helping hand. Or somebody offering it. But it kind of feels like somebody's reaching out as opposed to offering, you know. With that, we have the Seven of Swords. There's a defensiveness here. But more than that, the defensiveness is because there's been deception and treachery involved in the past. We're talking wolf in sheep's clothing. Somebody who potentially is quite a deceptive individual associated with this. But it's more your trepidation to be connected with it. A chance encounter that makes you feel leery. It could also be that there's forward momentum and doors opening for you, but there are There are wolves in the field. There are wolves in the pasture. There are wolves in the meadow. There's something about that. So there's something that you have to be aware of as you're moving forward on this journey. About the wolves in sheep's clothing. Even though you've been really good at protecting yourself, this isn't your blind spot. I'm going to read the songs afterwards. I hate being interrupted, so I'm just going to do that. What else is in your blind spot? Oh yeah, of course, we're going to clarify here also. Libra. What else is in Libra's blind spot at this time? In Libra's blind spot. Okay, 10 of Swords. Yeah, there's pain here. Somebody's reaching out of desperation. This is a chance encounter, or it's a part of the... So one thing we don't always recognize with this Wheel of Fortune is that, you know, there are several points on the wheel. And there are points when an individual is ascending to their greatness. Then they get to celebrate their achievement. Then they descend into darkness, and then they hit their rock bottom. And the wheel continuously turns in that way. And it may be that what you're not expecting or not seeing is that somebody has attempted to reach out in moments of despair, or there's a chance encounter, or this is the moment in time where that's happening. The hand is being extended when the door is open. I don't know what that means, but it's a thing here that is standing out particularly to me. And there's treachery at foot. I don't necessarily know that it's connected to this, but you know, we always have to ask when we're looking at a Seven of Swords card, particularly if you're looking at the traditional traditional Rider-Waite. Where the Seven of Swords, is the guy stealing the swords because he wants to steal the swords for himself, or is he stealing the swords so that men don't go into battle and kill themselves? You know what I mean? Is he stealing the swords to protect the soldiers, or is he stealing the swords to screw the soldiers over? So there are different perspectives to look at this card as. I mean, it's, you know, treachery, theft, deceit at the hands of another, but you know, for what reasons? And so you have to look at that in that regard, because there's pain here. I always think of this like The Speed of Pain by Marilyn Manson, even though I still am going to look up these songs for even the book that comes with this deck. But I always think of this as The Speed of Pain by Marilyn Manson. I wish that I could sleep, but I can't lay on my back because there's a knife for every day that I've known you. So this is abandonment, grief, loss, betrayal. It's the end of the cycle of pain, where somebody finally lays down for the end, not necessarily a physical end, but when the pain is so great. And that's why I was talking about the wheel, because it feels like this is the portion of the wheel where the individual is at their lowest point, you know? And what your blind spot may be is that there is a painful ending associated with some turmoil caused by treachery, deceit. A painful ending that's happened here with disappointment attached to it that seems to have been fated and a part of the algorithm of life, you know. Cannot have ascension and victory if you do not have the low points. There are no highs without lows, right? And there's an extension of a hand. Somebody opens the door and they offer the hand, rather not offer the hand, or they extend their hand as if to say, save me, or help me. That's what this kind of feels like. This hand does not look as if it's shaking somebody's hand or saying hello or offering a hand of assistance. It feels like this person's like drowning and this person is trying to help them get out or lift them up. I don't know why. It just does. In addition to this, finally, before we start to clarify. I mean, nobody ever said tarot was going to be lottery wins and marriages and stuff, although this kind of does, you know. I don't know. Lastly, blind spots. Blind spots for you. What you don't see, Libra. Yeah, sometimes blind spots are supposed to remain blind spots for a reason. So it's hard, I noticed. I will not take these. We will take this one. The Six of Pentacles in the reverse. There's a lack of balance here. That's why this is happening. The give and take hasn't been equitable in a situation with the Six of... This is you. Also Six of Pentacles. It's the only card in the Pentacles suit that is anything except for... people always associate it with Libra, right? Because it's a balance of give and take. It's the charity and the charitable, and where there's equity in it. But there seems to be inequity in a situation. It doesn't necessarily have to do with money. It's more than likely time, energy, and effort. And somebody was focusing their energy in an inequitable fashion. They weren't spending enough time building the connections, or, you know, enough energy nurturing the connections, or it's just somebody feels as if something's inequitable in a scenario here. Not enough time, energy, effort, or monetary was spent on something. Remember, pentacles are always the things that we spend. We spend our time. We spend our energy. We spend our efforts. We spend our money. You know? And there's an ending that's happened. This is the result. I'm sorry, this is the cause. This is the result. It seems there was dishonesty attached with why somebody wasn't able to dedicate more or contribute more. Thank you, contribute more. Could also be that somebody was presenting like they could contribute more or they could give more to a situation, but they couldn't. They were asking for help, and it resulted in an ending anyway. Like they just could, you know. Let's clarify. Oh wait, we need to look up the songs for those three cards. What a pain in the ass. I think that would probably be, if you're gonna, you know, make a song for a card, write it on the card so that people don't have to look that shit up. That's kind of annoying. Seven of Swords. Song for this one is Secrets and Lies by Ruel. For Ten of Swords, what do we got? We got The First Cut is the Deepest by P.P. Arnold. Which isn't the actual, you know, I really hate when people do that, when they're like, oh yeah, a cover artist. No, can we put the original recording artist? And then Six of Pentacles. Who's that gonna be? With a little help from my friends. They're saying Imaginary Future. That is not who originally wrote that song. But anyway, yeah, that's where we go with those. Let's clarify. Hopefully I didn't waste too much time on that. But let's clarify first. We're going to do the spotlights using the Sun Moon Tarot for you. I like the little decks that I have here for these. They're specifically, that was a crappy bridge. But I like to use these little guys for doing clarifications. I don't normally do clarifications because I do rather large spreads to start with, and I go off on tangents, as you hear. But you know, I do this for fun. I don't do this for a living. You know, this is what I do on my weekends for enjoyment. One of the things I do. I also garden and clean the house. Anyway, let's look at this. The waters that you've been so deservedly, of course, but also appropriately protecting over here with that the King of Cups. It is a Scorpio card. You've done so to your benefit rather than detriment, clearly. Justice in the reverse is because you've not been connected with the self in the past. And you may have felt there was a lack of equilibrium, that something in your relationships did not ring true and was not fair. What else? You wanted to keep things fair in your relationships, and you want to be true to yourself. You felt like you always were on the losing end of relationships. And that's what I was saying with the fairness and that they were true. You know, the Six of Wands being a card of triumph, and when it's in the reverse, it being the opposite of that, always losing. You know? Yeah, the Lovers in the reverse. You wanted to make a winning decision. You wanted to be... Here's the other thing. I think you wanted to be chosen. But you wanted to also make sure that you had the choice as well as being chosen. I think that's more apt here. With the King of Cups in the upright, you wanted to choose. You didn't always want to be chosen. You know, with exercising discernment, that means that you get to choose. And you get to choose somebody that you think will be fair to you, true to you, balanced with you, just because you're tired of losing. You didn't want to always be on the losing side of a connection. Oh, why we're getting quiet here. Quiet and gentle. Somebody who's quiet and gentle and patient with you, instead of loud. And there's something about that. Somebody who's gentle, quiet, patient, tolerant. Somebody who's the opposite of, I think maybe in the past you might have had a loud, flamboyant. You're not looking for the razzmatazz. You're looking for the patient, stable, steady. I don't know why that comes up. I'm looking for this with the Devil and the Magician. There was something that was really surprising to you. This was really surprising to you. When the facade fell with the Magician in the reverse there, and it was revealed that there was this obsession, fear, greed, excess, this indulgence, this addiction, whatever it was, with this individual, whoever they may be in your life that you're surrounded by. It was like somewhat of a shock. It was very sudden. It was abrupt, but not necessarily cataclysmic. It wasn't something that rocked anybody to their core. Scorpio energy on that. I think Scorpio is attached to this in some way. Scorpio may have had some role to play in it, because we have Scorpio here with the Scorpio here with the King of Cups, and then we have Scorpio here. This would be during Taurus season that the event occurred. The shocking event occurred. It was very surprising, that nobody was expecting. Tell me more. What about this shocking event? Okay, people were not willing to take a risk moving forward. Fool in the reverse, that's your season, if we were doing timings. They've been talking about it since Libra season. talking about it since Libra season, the risk that they were running with continuing with something. With this individual, with the trickery, the addiction, or the excess, or the greed, and connected, of course, with this the legal element. There's something here that people were not willing to take the risk on, and since Libra season, people have been talking about the risk that it was to continue with that. Nobody was willing to take the risk to be boundless in an adventurous manner. So the shocking event occurs. What else? Six of Pentacles. They wanted something more balanced, something more equitable, something more or individuals are contributing equally to a situation. Didn't I say Libra season, right? Libra. More willing to take the risk. Wanted to go after something that was more balanced in terms of give and take. It could be that there was a conversation about who was doing what and who wasn't as far as responsibilities go. How much time was being dedicated to something, how much energy was being dedicated to something, how many funds were being dedicated to something. And there was a risk involved with continuing on, and wanted somebody to kind of be on an equal playing field or equal contribution. The shocking event happens. Let's look at this. I think the Five of Pentacles kind of ties into this stuff, but let's see. Five of Pentacles is somebody doesn't want to be left out in the cold, and they're empowering themselves not to be. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, there's that Devil card again. We got Nine of Wands here, Devil card. Being chained. Being chained. Somebody is acting extremely fearful and defensive, highly protective, overprotective of their community, overprotective of the things that keep them included in something. Like, because the Nine of Wands is defensive energy. This individual's been beat about the head with the wands repeatedly throughout his journey, and he's standing with those wands as if a berm around him to protect him from the elements. With the Devil being fear and obsession, somebody is obsessively fearful and defensive over what they've built and the community that they've built, the things that they've built to keep them from feeling left out in the cold. Capricorn energy on the Devil there. Anything else? Anything else? Could be that somebody else is keeping a lid on, like keeping their indulgences in check to protect that, to continue being empowered to make their own decisions. What else? Anything else? Yeah. Ace of Cups. Oops. Protective and defensive over the beginning of an emotional connection as well. There was a lot of fight associated with that. Yeah, obsession and fear associated with that. Beginning of an emotional connection. Becoming like somebody who was action oriented to try and keep themselves from feeling as if they were on the out and out. What's this? Elder of Swords. What's this? A legal element. Two of Swords in reverse. Okay. There was impulsive action taken. There was a fork in the road that this individual hit. And they chose, you could either choose one of two things. There's always a 50-50 chance of doing something right or wrong, going left or right. And this person chose the thing that was on the wrong side. Tell us more. They chose the wrong side. Why is it about choosing the wrong side? Choosing the wrong side. Because, I mean, the King of Swords, there's the right hand of God, the right hand of the law. Okay, that's why. Okay. It kind of knocked the inspiration off. It knocked the creative initiation off. It was like, you know, taking that, you know, matchstick of the divine and going, tss. It kind of put a dead stop on any creativity, a creative start or a passion project. It halted something. It's like a big no-no. What is this? With the King of Swords in the reverse. It's like a criminal element, though. They chose wrong. They didn't start the creative project or the idea. They didn't have the idea. There was no inspiration. Like I had said before, they were irresponsible and reckless in their actions. The actions they took were irresponsible and reckless. Gemini energy. That's curious. Maybe that's the part of the legality that we're talking about here, was the reckless, irresponsible action that was taken. I am not the one who needs to know what this all is. You do, and it's highlighted as a spotlight, so you more than likely already know what it is. I don't. Libra, your blind spots, though. We're going to use a Deviant Moon Tarot for it to see what those are all about. Let's take a look-see. For Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, blind spots. So we're going to start with the Wheel of Fortune. What is this Wheel of Fortune? It's like that I was talking about the hand being extended. Tell us more. This deck has been freaking me out this morning. I already did Virgo's reading and it was intense. And a little, you know, like cards are always cohesive. If you're a good tarot reader and you read cards and you know how the cards, if you have a good relationship with your cards, they talk to you. But this is kind of, this deck's been freaking me out this morning. Okay. There's been some depression. There's been somebody who is absolutely, as the wheel turns, hitting their rock bottom, and you may not be seeing it because it is in your blind spot here. But as the wheel turns, somebody has been on the descent into a darker place, a place where there's like lack of interest, especially showing here. They got all this wine and they don't give a shit about any of it. They don't care about the cup from the divine. They don't care about the cups they have behind them. They're just like, there's a lack of interest and motivation, a lack of drive towards anything emotionally, connection-wise, or anything like that. They just want to, it's just like a feeling of like depression or the onset of depression. They're reaching out like there's a cry for help. You can see them descending. It's a turn of events. Thank you. A turn of events. Turn of events. Yeah. After a period of meditation and rest. A turn of events. They needed to rejuvenate, take some time out. And in taking time out, there was a point of realization of some sort. Tell me more. Tell me more. Okay. Okay, there's been communication here. Like I had said, the hand reaching out. The turn of events has to also do with communication. There was a letter that was sent. A little birdie told me. But it was while you had your back turned and you were working on creating something. And the wands are always about creativity, passion, fire burning in the belly, right? But there is a communication that came through email, letter mail, something of that regard. But it's like a little birdie told me, almost like there's like gossip or something. But there's communication happening while you're working about this healing, about this rest and relaxation. And it was, this person needed to do this because they were depressed and they didn't feel motivated. The Seven of Swords shit over here, though. Tell me more in this blind spot. The Seven of Swords. This one almost went for you. Seven of Swords. What's the treachery? What are the lies here? Yeah. Come on. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, normally this is a card about a lack of appreciation, you know. I think somebody's feigning that they're upset about a loss, or feigning that, because normally this is about exercising gratitude for what you still have after a loss. And I think that there's a lack of, or an absence of honesty about that. About the gratitude that somebody has, but also about the I'm like trying to be careful with my words for some reason right now. There's dishonesty about how upset this individual is about what's been lost here in this depiction. Often they will say this is about crying over spilt milk. What you really lost isn't that big of a deal. But I think that's what the lie is. This person's acting like what they lost wasn't that big of a deal. But it was. They could be trying to show that they're grateful for these two cups that are still standing. But these cups that have spilt are a far bigger deal than they're letting on. Tell me more. That's in your blind spot, you know. So you may not realize it, you may not see it. And they're not showing you. And they're lying about it. Tell me more. Whoa, 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 whoa. Or, you know, somebody here is about the meaning of it, the meaning of the loss. The world, it's, there's like a never-ending merry-go-round of crazy. You know, like bang your head against the wall, see if it still hurts, and there's your Nine of Wands again that we had over here. A defensiveness. Somebody's putting their guard up. They're not being vulnerable. This dishonesty is to keep defenses up, to continue to wear the facade. They're having a very difficult time being honest about vicious cycles. Reconciliations that continue to happen over and over again, but it's pointless because nothing moves forward, nothing... there's no beginning, there's no end, but there's no change here either. There's no transformation in a world in reverse. You know, like I said before with this merry-go-round of crazy. Bang your head against the wall, see if it still hurts. You know, but this individual is extremely defensive about what they're lamenting and what they're grateful for, and how much something pains them. Tell me about the pain down here in the 10. Okay, Queen, yeah. It's something's not fair, something's not just, Libra. It could be something that happened during Aries season if we're looking at timings. But something somebody didn't think was fair. It was very cutting. See the blood on the tip of the sword. Somebody felt something was really unjust. It was very painful. Somebody could have had surgery also that didn't go well. There could be grief and loss associated with that. But it's an ending nonetheless. It was very upsetting. Did not feel fair. Felt like there were lies attached to it. Tell me more. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Moon in the reverse, deception. Yeah, like I said, there were lies attached to it, deception. Moon in reverse, you know, the pain actually, the precipitation of pain is a result of the truth coming to light. The light of day revealing what was shrouded in shadow during the night. So when the moon is in reverse, that is deception lifting. That is, you know, the realization of the dreams. When you're having the dreams at night and you wake up in the morning and you analyze them, that's what this is. It's when the truth finally comes, when the night finally lifts. What's done in the dark will be brought to the light. What else? Yep, sorry. I'm expecting to see something else here. There's a wish attached to it. This is a blessing in disguise. This right here, this pain over what wasn't fair or what wasn't true. And when the revelation of the truth, you know, comes to the forefront and you have this painful ending or disappointment or grief or loss, there's an opportunity in this to have the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups being exercising self-worth and self-love, so that you can have your true emotional wish fulfillment come to the forefront. I think that's, you know, something of value to hold on to if this comes to fruition for you, as opposed to something that you're a bystander for. You know. The Six of Pentacles, I think this kind of explains this, you know, a little. There's the lack of equilibrium, but I think it's also like the truth of the situation is the lack of equilibrium in a relationship. The one person was contributing more than another was. One person was more yielding of their waters than the other was. You know, I was talking about the King of Cups over there with the Queen. She has the lid. And she was willing to, in this scenario, Cancer energy, she was willing to give of her cup, and the other individual was not. Just in the context of the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, somebody was contributing more of their emotional efforts and energy than another person was. Somebody was really leaning in on that, and somebody else wasn't. Either they weren't capable of it, or they didn't want to. But intuitively, this other person knew that even if they threw themselves into it wholeheartedly, there was going to be a level of inequity in between two individuals. Tell me more. Tell me more. Anything else? Final word. Let's just get a final word on this. Okay, thank you. Okay, High Priestess in reverse. Yeah, secret's out. Secret's out. There was a secret revealed that somebody intuitively knew. You know, intuition here, intuition here. Pisces energy. So during Pisces season, maybe a secret came out. And that was it. Somebody else was leaning into this wholeheartedly and somebody else wasn't. And there was the realization of that. And, you know, the cat was out of the bag. B and J. JB. Something like that. I want to say JB. Don't really know what that is. But jelly bean. I don't know why I'm hearing that. But something about jelly bean. Anyway, that's fucking random. Okay, all right, let's get your Rebel deck and get out of here because I'd like to do at least one more reading before Mr. Wright gets home. Rebel deck. Let's get you a piece of advice here. Jelly bean. Somebody call somebody jelly bean, or did somebody get somebody jelly beans, or I don't know. Anyway, yep, here we go. Rebel deck. Any advice? Advice for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I feel like you got your popcorn out for some of this. You're like the guy over here. This is you, but then the rest is all... You're in the peanut gallery for it. Oh, there we go. You're the shit. Okay. I guess maybe you are in the peanut gallery for the rest of this. Don't forget it. Okay. All right. Let's get you your affirmation and be done. What do you need to recite to yourself so that you can make it out of this month in one piece? Okay, I am awesome. Yeah. Okay, all right, Libra. That's it for us today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you when we see you next. And if any of this made sense or was accurate at all, give it a thumbs up. Okay, bye now.